Colorado's unique beauty, public lands, water and wildlife are among its most valued treasures. Combined, these natural assets make Colorado a top destination to live and recreate. Yet the natural resources that we all cherish as Coloradans exist today only because of a long history of conservation programs and dedicated funding. For more than a century, hunters and anglers, by purchasing licenses and outdoor equipment, have been the lifeblood of fish and wildlife management in Colorado. These critical dollars, along with contributions from a variety of conservation organizations and federal, state, and local governments, form the foundation of Colorado's conservation funding model. This partnership supports a variety of efforts that enhance fish and wildlife populations, protect threatened and endangered species, increase access for recreation on public lands, and support water and habitat conservation, all of which benefit nearly every Coloradan. While these contributions to wildlife and land management are undeniable, sustaining this funding model has become increasingly difficult in recent years. Unprecedented population growth, urban sprawl, and record numbers of outdoor recreationists have placed greater demands on Colorado's open spaces, trails, wildlife, and habitat. As threats to wildlife and the cost and complexities of resource management continue to increase, Colorado Parks and Wildlife and other key partners across the state are exploring a new way to protect Colorado's outdoor heritage. In 2016, Colorado Parks and Wildlife adopted the Colorado Outdoor Principles, also known as SHIFT, an acronym for Shaping How We Invest for Tomorrow. These 7 principles build upon the historic hunter-angler-based conservation model by promoting a shared stewardship ethic among all outdoor recreationists. A pioneer in this effort, Colorado was the first state to formally endorse SHIFT, which was originally developed by a small nonprofit organization in Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
In Colorado, we took the SHIFT principles developed in Wyoming, and we really sought to make them our own and have them reflect the values that Coloradans bring to this discussion about outdoor recreation, about land conservation, about wildlife habitat conservation. Then we were the first state in the nation to adopt the SHIFT principles through the Parks and Wildlife Commission. And we're really proud of that effort because we think it's a way that can capitalize on outdoor recreation and the support for it in ways that will benefit land conservation and wildlife and its habitat.
With an emphasis on protecting public lands, supporting landowner rights, conserving wildlife, developing sustainable funding sources, and promoting a shared responsibility to care for Colorado's natural resources, the SHIFT principles have gained the support of conservation organizations, sportsmen, and outdoor recreationists alike.
You know, it's clear that the SHIFT principles have a unique opportunity to advance both recreation and conservation, because for the first time in Colorado, we actually have an opportunity to define an ethic that stands for both things at the same time. It's a misconception to compare the traditional modalities of recreation within the outdoor industry and what's traditionally seen as the consumptive part of the outdoor industry, like hunting and fishing. The reality is any modality of recreation has impact on both wildlife and habitat.
We're all facing these challenges together as a community. We're facing a booming population, especially along Colorado's Front Range, increased pressures on our public lands that we've never seen before across the state, and this growing disconnect between youth and the outdoors. And Colorado's outdoor principles give the conservation community a platform to tackle these challenges together, since we all recognize that the outdoors are critical to our Colorado way of life.
I would encourage people in the hunting and fishing community to really come together and support the SHIFT principles. If we want to achieve the conservation vision that will ultimately ensure that all these great resources are here for future generations, collaboration for the entire community, including all outdoor recreation users, is really essential. And SHIFT created a unique platform to bring people together, advancing not only the science side of fish and wildlife management, but integrating other principles about social change and shifting dynamics in culture, and integrating diverse voices that traditionally haven't been a part of science-based fish and wildlife management conversations.
In support of the SHIFT principles, CPW formed the Colorado Outdoor Partnership. Representing more than 35 organizations and agencies from across the state, this coalition of leaders has helped to create unity among the outdoor community and serves as a starting point for collective conversations and actions to protect Colorado's natural resources.
Personally, I'm vested in these principles because of that unity. Our efforts are really to look at something that is very broad-based, very diverse, and also very broadly supported. I think these principles really pull together the wildlife conservation community and now, this relatively new, burgeoning outdoor recreation community to really focus on what's important out there.
As Colorado Parks and Wildlife continues to look toward the future, the SHIFT principles will serve as a code of ethics and a roadmap to guide the agency to ensure that Colorado's fish, wildlife, and natural resources and all forms of outdoor recreation remain for future generations.